What's up, college football fans? Don't forget to check out and order your copy of Stiff Arming Football Myths, our latest football game plan book. So go on our website at footballgameplan.com/books and get your copy. We have these available in paperback as well as in PDF form.
For Ole Miss in this ball game, they're going to have to win at the point of attack. That's why they're 7-0. They've done a great job all season long winning at the line of scrimmage. And right now versus LSU, no one is more important than that defensive line of Ole Miss. If they're able to get off blocks and win at the line of scrimmage, they can shut down what LSU wants to do offensively. And on the offensive side, they have to stay ahead of the sticks. Right now, Ole Miss finds themselves in a lot of third and longs. They're able to convert, but they have to find ways to stay ahead of the sticks, playing smart football, efficient football, and that's how Ole Miss can have some success. You want to make it third and manageable, not third and long, where you're forcing Bo Wallace to make plays with this arm. You want to give him a run-pass type option on third and medium. That's when he's most effective. And I would also find ways to exploit Jalen Walton, the outstanding tailback, in the passing game. You want to attack LSU at the second level, and Jalen Walton is a guy with the football in his hands, can take it the distance, so find ways to involve him in the passing game this week versus the Tigers. And for LSU, you want to go with delayed A-gap, B-gap pressure versus Bo Wallace. You want to get him to hold that football just a half a second longer, and that way you can get him on the ground. He's a guy that tends to hold the football a little bit too long, and that's how you're able to make big plays defensively. And on offense, I will go with spread. That's your 3 wide receiver sets with no tight end. Keep the fullback in the backfield. Utilize him creatively. Try to create holes in the running game so that way both Terrence McGee and Leonard Fournette can have success on the ground versus that very tough Ole Miss defensive front seven. And in the secondary, it's all about keeping your eyes on your luggage. You can't get caught looking in the backfield versus Ole Miss. This is a football team that operates well off play action. Bo Wallace can hit those bucket throws down the sideline, and he can make those stick throws on that skinny post coming off that read option play action. So again, it's all about doing your job, not trying to be a hero, and focus on the task at hand, which is the wide receiver. The biggest X factor in this game for Ole Miss will be their defensive line. LSU wants to come into this football game and run downhill, and that's running right in the heart, at the heart of this Ole Miss defense. If they're able to get off blocks like they've done all season long and shut down the opponent's running game to the tune of 2.9 yards a carry, it goes a long way in helping Ole Miss win this football game. So I think the defensive line of the Rebels will be the biggest X factor in this matchup versus LSU. And the biggest X factor for LSU will be their young receiving core: Travin Durrell, Trey Quinn, Malachi Dupree, John Diarse. These guys are facing their toughest test of yet this season. This Ole Miss secondary, which might be the best secondary in the country. They're going to have to win not only in the passing game, getting off bump press, finding the soft spots in the zone, but also in the running game, because Ole Miss secondary does a great job in run support. So these guys will have to play like seniors this week versus the Rebels. Now, here are some pro prospects you want to keep an eye on in this ball game for Ole Miss. Free safety Cody Pruitt is an outstanding player at 6'1", 220, but you have to like the play of Senquez Golson, the cornerback at 5'9", 190, 7 interceptions on the season. Very instinctive player. And I like what I see out of the Terrian Shackelford, the outstanding linebacker at 6 feet, 245. Now, for LSU in this game, you look at Lael Collins, maybe the best offensive line prospect, the best tackle prospect in the country at 6'4", 325. And you can see the pass rushing potential from defensive end Jamaria Rasco, 6'3", 260, really starting to turn it on right now at this juncture of the season. And Terrence McGee is a steady player, 5'9", 215, runs with a lot of power and a lot of patience. And I like what I see so far from Roland Martin, a 6'2", 218-pound senior at safety. People forget how good Romero Miller was at Ole Miss. Here's a guy that compiled a 22-13 record during his time from 1997 to 2000, led Ole Miss to 3 straight bowl appearances, winning 2 Independence Bowls, and threw for over 6,700 yards and 48 touchdowns in his Rebel career. Former running back turned wide receiver Josh Reed put together an impressive resume while at LSU from 1998 to 2001. Is the all-time leading receiver in Tigers football history and still owns an SEC record for most receiving yards in a game with 293 and most receiving yards in a season with 1,740. This is the guy that also was a 2-time All-SEC performer and All-American, and also won the Biletnikoff Award in 2001. I like LSU in the upset over Ole Miss in this ball game, and I think it will be because of their defense, the reason why they'll have success. I think they can match up on the outside versus Ole Miss's wide receivers, which will allow them to be a little bit more aggressive on the inside, getting pressure on Bo Wallace. And now that Kendall Beckwith has been named the starter at middle linebacker. That also helps out versus the running game. You've seen the rushing average drop significantly since he's been inserted into the starting lineup. So I think this is a better defense now than what we've seen earlier in the season. And if it had to come down to quarterbacks making the play, quietly LSU has the better quarterback play from a consistent basis as opposed to Bo Wallace. So I think right now the offenses will balance each other out. Both teams will struggle to move the football, but I think LSU's defense will come up big late to knock off Ole Miss. And also don't forget to check out every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, College Football Now on our Football Game Plan Radio Network located at blogtalkradio.com/footballgameplan.